Hello everyone, in this video we're going to talk about a comm truer turned into a tire truer. And one of the local guys named Jeff, who's an excellent racer, had this in his house, and he said, if you can turn it into a tire truer, you're welcome to do that. It's a comm truer. It has 2-axis movement. This one moves the cutter blade forward and aft. This is left and right. This is the cutter blade. I had to flip or take the mount points off for the cutter, the stuff that holds the cutting tools, and essentially drill new holes in there. I have a drill press that I was able to do those countersunk holes to a specific depth, and it worked pretty good. So also, the next thing I did was I started off with this standard axle. It's not an LM axle. I wish it was, because I'd have a little bit more extension on it. But I put a roll of tape around it to build up the diameter of it. And what I'll do is I'll just show you how it works. All right, I'll start off with just having one of the small bearings. I'll put it on there. You can secure the tire to the axle before you even start, and then basically put a nut on there and screw it on. These are just O-rings that I bought at our local Ace hardware store, and put them on like that. And then I have a power source that actually I've loaned to a friend before this whole Corona business came out, so I can't be cutting tires right now because I have no way to power this, but it does spin the tire and rim together at the same time. And it's kind of this is why a little bit of extra distance would have been good, just to push this back. Or it's hard to explain, but this turns and I'm able to cut tires. Another nice thing about it is I can take an old LM tire that's been used up and cut it, and when it's in its final shape, it can become a front tire. Granted, it's a little bit thicker than normal, but I've done that on several cars. These used to be LM fronts that are now just a standard 8.5mm width, and a worn out LM tire is great. It's constant composition all the way through. There's no such thing as usable compound on a Mini Z tire. It's all one compound, so it works great. And with this tool, I can change old worn out rear tires into usable front tires, and that's a nice thing. Not only do they get double the life of the tire, but it starts out even a little thicker than a factory tire. And in the cases of my cars, they generally don't rub on anything, so a little bit thicker tire is okay. Also, they're perfectly true. I can true the sides. I use a razor knife to narrow it to the exact width that I need, and it works really well. But you see, this does ride right on the edge of the tape drum that I made. It works fine. There's no issue with it, but it's best used if you go very slow with it. Heating the tire up is a bad thing. Tires don't like heat when you're cutting them. It'll blister them. So I'll take off no more than 0.03 of an inch at a time, and it works pretty well with that. PN tires especially like to be trued. They're excellent tires, but they're not exactly as round as I would like them to be out of the box. The Kyosho low profile tires are fairly good as far as being true, but I just prefer the PN rears to the Kyosho rears. I usually run PN front 20s. They work great, and an LM rear 20 turns into a beautiful front for any car, because you can literally true it down to any dimension you want. Another tool I use, let's see if I can find it, This is another tool I like a lot. It's just a caliper. It tells me what size things are. And suppose I want to true this wheel to 22.3. I can do that just by reading it off. It's not a scientific thing. It's a cheap tool, but it's a good tool. It works perfectly for what I need it. And nice thing about this is you can tape the wheel down, tape the tire down to the wheel before you even begin. And when you're done, you have a wheel that has been trued with the bearing you're going to use in it on the wheel. It's going to be used with the tire in the position where it will be. So really, it's as close as you can get to a perfectly true wheel. Also an update, I'm working with the guys in Minnesota on the wings for my cars. That's the version 1 wing. It works beautifully on short tracks. This one may work better. I believe it does work better on longer tracks. Another thing I've done recently is drop my car, but by flipping it over, you can see that I've done a little bit of work getting the nose piece done. I'm going to offer this plastic nose downforce kit as part of a package deal. There'll be multiple packages you can get when I decide to finally put these out. The whole virus thing has slowed down my production of things, but hopefully in the next week or two I'll have some news on that as well. But I will offer it as a complete package. There'll be hopefully 3 different wing options you can try, and also the lower underbody panel. And I'll do another video. I'll take the wings off, the front off, and we'll do some comparisons with nothing, with the rear, with the front, and then with both, so you can see what it actually does, the effectiveness. But that's the video for today. Hope it helps you, and if you don't have something you need, just make it. There's nothing wrong with that. It works pretty good. That's my tire truer. Simple things. Just add things together that were never meant to go together, and you can have something you want. We'll see you at the track hopefully soon.